as a great source of protein for somebody who's vegetarian?
Okay, so vegetarians and vegans are a little bit harder to find enough protein. Now, in terms of for you, if you're a vegetarian, for my clients, I usually tend to give them natural sources like mushrooms. I go with tofu. If they have soy allergies and all that, well, tofu is not good. So I don't know if you can use tofu or not. But mushrooms, tofu, you're vegetarians, you can have eggs as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can have egg whites, like a lot of egg whites. There's another thing, it's called corn. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's like beef mince, but it's not beef. It's just made out of eggs and mushroom and beans and all that. So it's make up a good amount of protein. So that's that. And also, if you want to use a supplement, well, protein powders are a great source. But the ones that I use is just vegans. So I found Belinda knows this as well. I don't like to use protein powders that are whey. They're from cheese. I'm not vegan myself, but I tend to use those protein powder because it's digesting easier and help me to get my protein in my daily routine as quick as possible.
Excellent. Thank you.
So the pea protein powders, Shawn.
Sorry?
The pea protein powders?
Yeah. So protein powders, the best ones in the market at the moment, I don't have it in here. So the best one is Amazonia Raw, if you want to write it down. So Amazonia Raw is the best one, hands down, the best ingredients, nothing chemical in it. It's all organic. It's all ingredients that is actually goes well with your digestive tract. So I never had issues, or anyone who has used it, one of my clients never had issues with that either. Look, I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm just recommending them. So
I was just going to ask about your thoughts on gluten. You don't have anything in the book apart from where you mentioned gluten and dairy cause inflammation. I've had different conversations with people about gluten lately, and I've had a couple of people tell me that gluten-free is a lie because all sugars turn into gluten or something like that.
Okay, great question. So when I face this question, I would say, look, I'm a practitioner and you should be too. So practice it and see how it feels, right? So for 2 weeks, 2 weeks is a time that your body changes, right? So any dietary changes that you do, it takes 2 weeks. Most people, 2 weeks, but even in 1 week, you can feel it. So when I say go off gluten, I mean completely cut it off. Yeah, cut it out of your diet and see how it feels. If it feels great, well, continue with it. If it doesn't, then you haven't lost anything. But from my personal experience and hundreds of clients that I've trained, and even so recently, whoever that gone off gluten, they felt a lot better. And I'll tell you why. Now, this is my take from the gluten. So you said you had some other discussion with other people. So gluten, and from the researches that I've done, when you eat the gluten, it goes into your body and acts like a glue into your intestines. So if this is your intestine and your digestive tract, it goes in and attached to the layer of your the wall of your digestive tract. Now, what will happen is you eat meat, you eat the rest of the food, you eat pasta, cheese, dairy, and all that. That will stick to the wall of your digestive tract. So that makes it a little bit harder for the body to digest all that together. And then that will make the bloating feeling, the gassy feeling, the uncomfortable feeling, right? So when you cut it off for 2 weeks, or cut it off your diet, then you will see what I'm talking about. Before you do that, you don't know because you haven't done it, right? So I always say, if you want to see what works, what doesn't, give yourself 2 weeks and try and error, try and error. You haven't lost anything because you just went 2 weeks off dairy or 2 weeks off gluten. So then you can see yourself how it feels. Is that answering your question?
Yes. Yeah, basically. I actually went off gluten for just over 4 weeks.
Oh,
and
how
I
did that
didn't
feel?
notice in myself, I didn't notice a massive difference, but I did notice a difference when I ate gluten again. That was bad. That
Okay.
was very
Yep.
bad. So I'm wondering if my next thing is to possibly go off dairy as well, which is going to kill me because I love cheese.
Cheese and yogurt are the culprits, because everybody say, oh, I don't have much dairy in my diet, but I have a little bit of cheese. Well, that little bit of cheese is still dairy and still attaches to your digestive tract and creates all these uncomfortable feelings. Now, great way to see the difference. So now you've gone off gluten. I would myself, if it was me, I would take the dairy off, and then again give myself 2 weeks and see how it feels. First thing is that, if let's say if you went out and ate meat, or there was something that was heavy, you can actually add a digestive enzyme to your dietary intake. Let's say pineapple is a great example. I'm very big on pineapple because it's a fruit. It's organic. You can find it pretty much everywhere. It has an enzyme in it. It's called bromelain. So bromelain is a digestive enzyme that will make the food that you ate already digest better. Now, in terms of nutrition, it doesn't matter what you eat. It matters how much of it your body absorbs. Like, so if your body doesn't absorb a lot of nutrients from the food that you eat, so most of it is going to go out, right? So body will digest probably about 70% of what you eat normally. Now, if you add the bromelain, whether it be a pineapple, whether it be a tablet form, you will digest probably about 80 to 90% of the food that you're eating. So you're getting more nutrition out of it, more mineral, more vitamin out of the food that you're eating already. Now, that's in terms of nutrition, but I would say for you guys, if you set a goal and say, okay, so I want to lose weight, or I want to maintain, or I want to gain muscle, whatever the goal might be, and working towards that goal, I think it would be a lot better in terms of your performing, in terms of your thinking, because you're progressing not only in your business but also in your personal growth, and also in terms of your body image, in terms of whatever that is important for you. I'm not putting ideas in your head. I'm just saying whatever is important for you, it's always best to have a goal first and then work within that goal, step by step.
So in saying that, you're saying eat small snacks during the day, like to keep your energy levels up. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
So intermittent fasting, I actually had a conversation today with 2 of my clients. For them, they keep snacking a lot, and they just can't stop. So if that's the case, then you have to, if the goal is a fat loss, and my clients, these clients, they can't stop snacking, well, obviously that's not going to work, and they're not going to lose fat. So I said, you know what you can do? Intermittent fasting, you can do 16 hours. So let's say if you your last meal of the day is 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., then 16 hours after that, which including your sleep, will be about 11 o'clock, I think, in the morning. So that's the time that you can eat. Yeah, you can eat a larger meal, but then again, goes, you have like a couple of hours window, like about 5 hours, I think 6 hours, and then same thing again, 16 hours. For some people works fantastic. For some, or for me, like I have to eat every 3 hours, otherwise I do get agitated and I just can't think. So again, it's you need to practice these things. You need to practice it, knowing your body, what works best, what doesn't. So I know for me, intermittent fasting doesn't work because I'm going to be too hungry and not going to be at my peak performance level mentally and physically. So I have to feed my body every 3 hours. For somebody like you, might work. I don't know. Have you tried, Belinda, yourself?
I tried them all. Okay, so in the 5-2 diet, I quite like that. 2 days of 500 calories or less per week. Did really well on that for a long time, probably more than 12 months on the 5-2, and I think that worked for me. That worked better for me than doing the 16-hour fast.
Yep. Yeah. So you know that works for you. So you've done that more than a year. That's enough evidence that you can do that, and no issue with that. So the other guys here, I want you to actually put in practice and see what works for you and see what doesn't. That takes a bit of time or a couple of weeks to adjust and learn, relearn yourself. And moving forward, you're going to be thanking yourself doing that.
It works really well for me when I actually do it.
Fantastic. That's all that matters.
Last year.
Well, we need to get back on that, eh?
I know. You can nag me.
Anyway.
I read somewhere that bananas was one of the things that helps produce melatonin. So a bedtime snack.
Okay, so bedtime snack. Again, guys, it all goes back to what goal are we talking about. If it's fat loss, I wouldn't recommend. There's other ways to do to increase the melatonin for nighttime. So if it's fat loss, again, not recommended just before going to bed. As I said, we need to bring the carbohydrate down towards the night. But in terms of melatonin, let's say turkey means, if you're into meat and eating meat, we talked about vegan, but if you're eating meat, turkey means is another great source of increasing the melatonin. Pistachio is another one. There's a lot of melatonin in pistachio, or just the tablets, the melatonin tablets if you open to supplementation. Also, in terms of like you want to sleep, the condition of going to bed, that has a massive effect on your sleep. So that means the temperature is right, no blue lights before you go to bed. That means phone off, laptop off, TV off. Belinda is laughing because she's not doing all that. So darker room, these things make your body and tells your body, hey, it's about to rest. You're about to rest. So then your body produces more melatonin right then. And if you add the pistachio, great. If you add if you had dinner like turkey means, great. There are other sources as well. I just can't remember at the moment. Linda, you got a question?
Yeah. So firstly, tell everybody here, I saw on Instagram that crazy sparkling contest. Did you not? What did that involve?
So Gracie Baja, basically that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a combat sport. You go in and you basically try to submit that person in front of you. Now I do these things not just because I want to keep fit, but also it's a skill. It's good for my cognitive brain, and also I can defend myself in any situation, defend my loved ones, or any sticky situation that I get into. I know that I have the confidence to handle myself. Now that is martial arts. I did that, and that I've done bodybuilding before, and I've done wrestling before. So, but also in terms of mindset. So when I go in, that's a fighting game. So fighting mindset, same as in life. I was talking about it in the presentation as well. Everybody needs to learn how to fight, because I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about circumstances. So every day you get up, it's a fight. It's a fight to get up there and do what it takes. It's a fight to sometimes it's even a fight to get out of bed. Simple things you can relate, and that's a mindset that I'm working on, and this past year it's been amazing.
And you were talking to me this afternoon, and I saw the photos come up on Instagram about that guy's transformation in a really short time.
Yep. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys. So we have won the national grand prize for the 8-week challenge for entire Anytime Fitness Australia. Now, 8 weeks ago, prior to this, I went to this guy's shop. He's a barber, and I knew this guy was a member of Anytime Fitness, which where I work, but he was off track. So he went off track, as we all do at some stage. And I went in and I said, "Look, man, we can get you back on track. There's a challenge going on. Let's stick with it, commit, and let's change your life." Because he was, imagine this, imagine drinking a bottle of wine every night, eating all this dairy and pasta and gluten every single night. If I show you the photos, I don't know how to show you right now, but I'll send it to you, Belinda. You've seen it. The guy's stomach was probably 50 centimeters across. When he comes in the room, his stomach first comes in. But now if you look at him, it's gone. So what he was doing, because all these demons in his head, all these past failures, at some point it's just hit him hard. He's 45, I think. And then he's a single dad, has 2 kids, and he basically had a tough times. So I went in and helped him to get back on track, most of all mentally. Then physical aspect of things fall into places. Now I gave him routine, I gave him specific goals, I gave him specific calories to hit, and I check up on him every day. Sometimes everybody gets off track and needs that person to keep them accountable, whether it be their wife or husband or friend or trainer or whoever that is. They need this someone to keep them accountable, because clearly they couldn't keep themselves accountable. So that's what we did. So 8 weeks ago, he was about 125. Now he's, I think he's about 105. So we lost tremendous amount of weight. And if you look at him, you see just a completely different person. And that just short amount of time, 8 weeks. Imagine you do that for a whole year. You become completely different person, change your whole life, and for the better. Now that challenge, not only is you talking about fitness, but it's not only fitness. He showed to himself that he can overcome this challenge. Now he can overcome the challenges in head, with his relationship, with his kids, with his family, with his career. His career is actually doing a lot better. He's cutting a lot more hair and more people coming to him than before. It's funny how it works. So that's I'm really proud of him and his efforts, and we became the winner out of 520 clubs and over 3,000 challenges. So we are the first in the country.
Everyone's got a different opinion. Don't drink it. You can have it. Black coffee is good for you. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Again, this is one of those topics. It's like dairy. It's like gluten. There are evidence that they say, oh, it's good for you. There are evidence that say it's not good for you. My personal take from that is, with my line of work, when I get up 4 a.m. and finish 8 p.m., I do need coffee, no matter whoever, whatever they say. I need coffee 4 a.m. when I wake up. I need to be fresh for my next client. So, yes, scientifically it's proven it's acidic. It does take away a bit of iron from your body, which everybody struggles to have enough iron in their body. Now, it's a little bit tricky because when you talk about iron and level of oxygen in your body, and then when you don't have enough of that, you feel lethargic again. Yeah, you feel down, you feel moody. But what I found is that if you have one cup of coffee, let's say black, and if you wanted to actually treat yourself, let's say almond milk, no cow's milk. Look, to me, I still have two cup of coffee per day, and I don't think any major issue it causes, because for my food is full of minerals and vitamins and all that. It would take away a little bit of iron away, but that's okay. If you can compensate on your nutrition and add a little bit more, I don't think there is a massive issue, and you can still enjoy your coffee. Coffee is one of those things like alcohol. You go out, everybody, let's go for a coffee, or you go for a meeting, it's a coffee. Yeah, so I think it's hard to say let's cut it. I've tried so many times, and to be honest, it doesn't work for me. So I have to stick with at least one or two. One when I wake up to make me fresh and wake me up and make me focus. And benefits of coffee. This is something that a lot of people don't know. So when you wake up and you have coffee, coffee has this the caffeine basically goes into your fat cell wall. Yeah, so every fat cell is like a circle shape. It goes, penetrates in and release the fat. Release the fat, it goes into your bloodstream. And then when you, first thing in the morning, when you exercise, when you sweat, that's when your body overheats and then you burn that fat. That's a lot of people don't know. They think coffee only give them a bit of a focus, a bit of a mental alertness. But another benefit of coffee or caffeine is that it has fat burning effect. If only taken empty stomach, if it's black coffee, not with milk. Because when you have the milk, your body wants to digest the milk first, and the effects of the coffee is gone. So or it's minimal. So keep that in mind as one of the little secrets. But if you're a person who does exercise in the morning regularly or without having a breakfast, that's the best way to do if you want to burn a little bit of fat. Okay, so if we are about to finish, I'm just gonna say, at the end of the day, guys, there's a couple of main factors that you need to know. Yeah, how much calories you need to hit per day to maintain or lose the fat or whatever the goal might be. Yeah, so you need to know how much you need to eat, because if you don't know, you're never gonna be on your peak of your performance mentally and physically. Now, physically, you want to say, okay, I don't want to do the things that I do, or but I know all of you have to be switched on when you jump on that computer and you want to work and you sell I don't know, a house or renovate, or you guys whatever you do, I don't know the details, but you have to be on your A game, right? So that comes with nutrition. Nutrition is one of the biggest things that you can improve and make it better, because from that, nutrition affects your mood. Your mood makes you decide. Yeah, if your mood is down, you're deciding not great decisions. And yeah, so it's one of the main factors that you have to consider. As I said in the presentation, same as financial planning that you do every year, you need to have a fitness plan. You need to have a plan that you don't think about it every single day. You take that off and you go on a routine. It's just happening. if you keep thinking about what am I going to eat now, what am I going to eat lunch, what am I going to eat dinner, that takes away your mental capacity. Instead of focusing on your work, you're putting all this energy in elsewhere. Otherwise, if you go like, oh, bugger that, I just have this cake, or bugger that, I just have this, whatever that is comfortable, then what will happen is that you put on weight and you're not going to be happy. Again, your mood is going to be down, and then all these things happen, and we know what's going to happen. So to prevent that, I don't know, I can talk about this till tomorrow. people don't want to go broke, don't want to be overweight, don't want to be sick, but these things happen from not having a plan. Yeah, so just I'm gonna put it out there.
Awesome way to finish. Thank you, Shawn.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming on. I know that for the newbies here, they mightn't have understood, but Shawn came and spoke to us at our RCM retreat at Cronulla and spoke a lot about mindset, and people, because of Shawn's background, were interested in finding out more about the diet and the exercise and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Shawn, for coming on.
Not a problem. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Guys.
I'll be up early in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. I'll see you guys soon.